So we've ended week 2, and Ken and I were speaking this morning. And as we end week 2, I just want to clarify, because there may be a little bit of confusion when we talk about moving from CSR to social innovation and moving from a philanthropic and compliance intent to a strategic intent. We really want to emphasize that philanthropy and compliance are incredibly important and incredibly powerful levers of change. But if you're moving to social innovation, it is a co-creative process, and that strategic intent, which we talked about, whether it was Michael Porter's model or Second Nature, is really where the secret sauce is. And it's a co-creative process. You don't have to do it on your own. In fact, we would say that when you move to a strategic intent, it's a much broader and more powerful engagement strategy, both internally and externally, and it's really how you see your role.
I think that's a key distinction to keep in mind, and I would say there is some good news around that strategic intent distinction, and hopefully you saw that in week 2, that when it comes to acting on that strategic intent, there's a very clear process that's emerged that people understand, they appreciate, and largely is viewed as credible. And the best companies are following it. There's a clear view. So how do I act on it? What's the steps I take? What do I do? And how do I make that clear to folks? So the good news is that strategic intent is the direction, and there's a very, very clear process. And you saw that, I hope, in week 2. And what we're going to shift to next week, I think, is taking that structure, that process that's pretty clear, and maybe muddy it a little bit, add some imperfections. So now it's the human piece. How do you take that clear process and how do you populate it with people? And that human element is always a little tricky.
Yeah, and so we're very excited because next week we really get to introduce you to Babson's methodology of entrepreneurial thought and action. And if we think about moving from CSR to social innovation, I do believe that bridge is around how do you think and act entrepreneurially, both inside and outside. So it's really about you. It's really about helping cultivate who you need to be, the skills, the competencies, the knowledge, the attributes, the mindset to being able to make that shift.
So as I enjoy next week, and I also want to just say the work you spent on the field inquiries and the discussion guides have been discussion boards has been terrific. Some wonderful comments, some great thinking. So we look forward to more of that.
Thank you.